The hill we climbed. One day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never ending shade? The loss we carry is sea we must wade. We brave the belly of the best. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just is isn't always justice. And yet the dawn is ours. Before we knew it, somehow we do it, somehow we withered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country at a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming a president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean that we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We're striving to forge a union with a purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we left our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We closed the divide because we knew to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside, while lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as grieved we grew, that even as we heart we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious. Not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade. But in all the bridges we've made, that is all the promise to blade. The hill we climb, if only we dare, it's because being an American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and we refer it. We've seen a forest that would rather shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And as the effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. And this truth and this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the ears of such a terrifying hour, but with it, we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while we ask, how could we possibly prevail over this catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? What we will not march back to what was, but move what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain, if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and the change of our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than one we are live with. Every breath from my bronze-founded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast with our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. And every known nook of our notions and every corner called their country, our people diverse and beautiful will emerge, battered and beautiful when day comes, was stepped in out of the shade, flame and unafraid, a new dawn becomes, blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. That's all.